You'll see. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, good day, good night, good everything. As you all know, my name is Jason Weiss. I am the host of the Ask Jason Weiss show. For those of you that know me, I am an attorney, but I am not your attorney. Anything that is said today is not legal advice. It is just purely hypotheticals. We're having a dialogue. We're having a discussion. Should you seek legal or financial advice, consult an attorney directly. Nothing here is attorney-client privilege. So with that being said, and getting all of the boring stuff out of the way, we have some fun stuff planned for today. I unlike other guests that I've had on the show where I can say, I've known, so-and-so for 30 years and 20 years. I met Matt recently. I've been following his content on LinkedIn for a while. Finally got that meeting with Matt and blew my mind. I said to him, I said, look, I'm going to move people around. I want you on the show. And he's like, sure. I'm like, oh, thank you. It was so fun. It was so engaging, and it was so natural. So Matt is going to talk to us today about something called funnels and sales and boom. Those are all the good ways. So he is a managing partner at SALESFORCEBOOM. He's a strategic business growth coach, and he is the newest recipient of my book, Shit They Never Taught You in Law School, as well coffee beans that I just sent him. And he just said to me, Jason, I got your coffee beans. And I'm like, hang on to it. We're going live. So I've put this on the air before. If you want coffee beans, I am back roasting again. All you have to do is email me at jason@askjasonweiss.com. And I need two things. I need your mailing address where I can send it. And I just need to know if you want the beans whole or ground. That's it. And then be on the lookout in about a week. Now, one of the things about my coffee is, I will admit, if you want a knock your socks off, coffee that's real powerful, you got to add a little bit more. So Matt, I don't know. I'm just going to say, for example, if you're a 3-scoop guy, I would tell you to either make it 3 heaping scoops or 4 level scoops instead of your 3 normal scoops, and it'll be great.
Okay, I'll remember that.
And when we run a commercial, he's going to run and go get coffee so he can taste it. I don't know if it's mine. But
I'm brewing it right now. I just told Jason, I said, Jason, I'm brewing it as we speak. I already ground it. It smelled amazing out of the mail. So really, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. And those are Tanzanian pea berries, which mean that they should be whole beans, whole thing, and more flavorful. I learned about all of that in Hawaii. But enough about me. Let's talk about SALESFORCEBOOM, because that's one of the things. And this is, for me, also education. I want to learn how to make my sales boom. Books, consulting, coaching, coffee, lacrosse gear, lazy wear gear. I have all these businesses, and I want to see them boom and take off. So first, tell us a little bit about how to make the boom, and then tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got to this point in your life.
Yeah, well, no, thanks, Jason. I appreciate you having me on. And thank you for moving other spots. That's very flattering. I told you a lot about my story during our call, but I think it's important to go through a little bit of it again, because I want people to understand how far back this all goes and why I felt the need to tell the world about what we do, and more importantly, that it really works. Everything I do, I practice what I preach. So in 2004, I moved to Shanghai, China. I got recruited out of California. I'm from New York, moved to California a couple of years, wanted to be a surf bum. I mean, what else do you do after college, right? So I thought, let's go to California. Let's be a surf bum. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I'll figure it out later. So while I was in California, I got recruited out to Shanghai. And I thought, okay, I've partied enough. I've done the bum thing long enough. Let's go out and explore something new. Landed in Shanghai, China at about 2004, got into financial services. And you couldn't get it wrong in Asia from 04 to 14, which is the time period I was there. The markets were going off. The US was going off. It was just going off globally. And Asia, I literally saw Shanghai explode right before my eyes. It was the coolest thing. So in 2008, I decided I had enough of giving away 70% of my earnings to my employer. So I thought, I want to go out on my own. So my friend who was also working for the same company, we said, hey, I think we could do this better than what our employer is doing. So we teamed up. I'll admit, took half the staff because they wanted to go with us, opened the doors with about 5 sales guys, a few admin in 2008. Well, so 2009.
I guess there was no non-compete, non-solicitation, and
there was no
right, no. Not over there. And here we don't even know where that is with the law, and we're not going to get into that right now because there's changes coming. Speak to employment attorneys.
Yeah, and I've seen that in the States.
Yeah.
They're being contested more and more now. They're not holding the weight it used to 10, 20 years ago. But
there's some legislation out there that is I think it was the FCC and a couple of the other agencies that they said that, and the FTC as well, that non-competes could be considered like gone and all this. So just keep an eye on the news and the law, and speak to an employment attorney if that's something you're involved with. Not this guy. All right. So we just moved. We're in Shanghai. We just took half the sales force, and you and your partner started up something big. Now I'm going to shut up.
All right. So we started Elite Investment Group in 2008. We were rocking, 6-figure plus months out of the gate. It was awesome. Didn't really have to do much except for pick up the phone and go. Well, 2009 hit. And as you know, there was a huge recession. In 2008, it hit the US, the big property crash. Well, it caught up to us in 2009. And I did a whole story on this in my own marketing. Within a few months, I lost half my team. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to keep the doors open. It was horrendous. And a lot of us went through, a lot of you guys went through it in the States, and then it caught up to us in Asia the next year. So I thought, damn, what do I do here? We can't just go under as a new company, although our competitors were all betting that we'd be out of business in 3 months and pretty much cheering on the fact that we would be out of business because they hated that a couple young 28-year-olds launched a financial services company and started taking a ton of market share from them. So we had to think quick. Well, in 2007, Facebook launched. YouTube wasn't even born yet, because it was only 2000. Well, YouTube just came online at 2009, and then LinkedIn didn't even exist. LinkedIn came out in 2010. So I saw social media starting to come around and people starting to take to it. But I was told about this little thing called email marketing, and it was not a big thing back then. Believe it or not, in 2009, nobody really did email marketing. They understood you could buy lists, but what do you do with the list? So I obsessed over email marketing. I followed every big guru out there. And I'm not talking about the fake gurus today, Jason. I'm talking about Dan Kennedy, Frank Kern, the legends who go back 20, 30, 40 years, and they mastered copy. And once they learned the art of copy, everything they touched turned to gold. So I thought, all right, let me learn copywriting. How do we send an email message out there and get people to take action now? Remember, social media wasn't really around then. So there was no post 30 posts a month and do this and jump up and down and spin and do jumping jacks for anything to work.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick, because in the legal field, when we talk about copywriting and copy and all of that, most people think of a copyright, right? You have a book, you can copyright it. You have a transcript, you can copyright it. Right. So when influencers, marketers, agencies, when they talk about copyright or copy, for those people that are not in that realm, just real quick, what's that? And then continue with your story.
So copywriting is basically just mastering how to write copy that converts to a sale. So whatever it is that I'm trying to achieve, whether I want to get a lead, an appointment, or a sale, I need to write the copy in a very specific sales linear fashion to take somebody through the journey on that sales page. So I cover all the objectives, all of the pain points. I get them agitated, and then I solve that agitation with my solutions. So there's a whole art to it, similar to any other sale that a salesperson would take you through. You have to get all that on one page. So by the end of the page, when they're done reading, they're clicking that button or they're buying that product. Copywriters would charge $10,000 to $20,000 per one landing page 20 years ago because it was so rare. And the magic that they could do with words was just mind-blowing. So I was like, I got to learn this stuff, right?
So as long as we're on that topic, do you think it's better to point out, and here's some free marketing advice, not legal advice, and this is one man's opinion. Do you think it's easier to get it by saying, you know, like, do you have white hair that you want to get rid of, or do you hate your white hair? Or do I say something like, you know, would you rather, you know, have brown hair? Like, do you try to accentuate a negative, a positive, or
negative?
Audience? You do negative. A negative
always first, always, because until you tackle the pain point and admit there's a problem, what's the first step to recovery? Admitting you have a problem, right? If we can't admit that you have a problem, it doesn't matter what comes out of my mouth. You're not going to buy it.
Right. Because one of the things that I've done is I've said, like, are you an unhappy attorney? Are you a miserable attorney? Are you a drowning attorney? And I've been told by other people, and again, you know, that I shouldn't, you know, do you want to take your life back? Do you want, like, they're telling me to do it different ways. So I guess there's different methods and different audiences. I was just curious your take on it. That's all. No.
So that's a great question. And if you follow, I know you follow me and we're connected on LinkedIn, watch my posts.
I do.
A lot of my posts smack you in the face so hard with negativity, not because I'm a negative, grumpy person, but because people pay attention to it. And are you surprised? Look at our media. It's very negative. If the media wrote about unicorns and rainbows every day, nobody would listen. Nobody would watch the news.
Correct.
Right? You want to know the depressing, the sky is falling stuff for us to be interested.
Which sucks. I mean,
it does suck when it sells.
I know. You know, like when Harris and Trump, and we're not talking politics, that's one of our ground rules. When they jab at each other, everybody loves it. If they were to get on stage and high five, they'd probably not cover that. You know, like
they lose half their base as well. Right. And again, I know we're not going to talk politics, but I've learned this through owning a media company on one side or the other. I won't say the side, but unfortunately, if you don't drum up controversy, if you don't drum up jock shock content, people aren't going to listen to you. And if you try to be neutral, you're now a flip-flopper. So the same can be said about media, right? And it leads me to a great, I'll prove what I'm saying right now with how that worked in Shanghai. So I wanted to not take 30 years, Jason, to reach the earning potential that my competitors all were making when I started when I was 28. I looked at what these guys were doing at 50s and 60s, and I said, you know what? I don't want to wait 30 years to build my book of business and do it the long, slow, and steady way. So I was like, David, that was my business partner, and I said, dude, we got to do something to explode on the scene right now if we're going to survive this. So we learned email marketing. The first email marketing message I sent out, and by the way, I got a list, 200,000 people. I sent an email to 200,000 people. More people in a single hour got my email than my competitors could reach all year, right? So that was so powerful to us. And the first email message I sent out was something like this. Hey, first name. I know that you're an expat out, and I know that you're an expat here out in Shanghai. Have you thought about what would happen if you got in a car accident today and died? Where would that leave your children? I mean, it was so like, you know, who wants to read that? But you're like, holy crap. No, I haven't thought about that. And you paint this picture in their mind like, dude, if you don't come see me now, your children are going to be on their own. Then I would list all the horrific things that could happen to their children while they're in transition. No, they're not sending them back to the United States on a plane. People got to come over. They got to do this. There's a process. It just so much goes into it. And you have to paint that very painful picture. Now, it doesn't always have to be that grim. I was selling life insurance at the time and regular savings plans. Right. But no matter what you do, like now I talk to people like yourself. And when I was doing this to financial advisors, once I built and sold my finance company, by the way, I built and sold it in 5 years. We were #1 in sales for all major insurance providers in 5 years in all of China because of email marketing alone. And because we knew how to write copy that got expats to take action. So we blew up whole store, the 24th floor of a beautiful building overlooking Xintiandi, a very nice upper scale part of Shanghai. So we did it. And I owe it all to email marketing. Okay, because of the power of reaching so many people like that. Now, today, Jason, we get emails every day, right? So it's not, I wouldn't say it's not as effective, but there's a lot of noise. So you have to be even craftier today. And that's where retargeting comes in. You open my email and you click on a link and you say, I'll deal with this later. You click that link, you're going to start seeing me on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. I'm going to follow you around until you're like, dude, enough of this guy. Or you take action, right? So retargeting's really helped to pick up the slack. So when I pitched this to financial advisors after I sold the company, I moved to London with my then girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. And we moved to London and I said, hey, financial advisors, look what I just did. Do you want to learn how to do it? Are you sick of cold calling? Are you sick of knocking on doors? Are you sick of referrals? Are you sick of finally closing a deal and then all that did was catch you up for 4 months of doing nothing? So again, those pain points. Here's an easier solution. And my pitch, same thing as what copywriters would do. Pain, agitate the pain, come in as a superhero with my all-star solution that you've never heard before. And it's the same thing no matter what you're selling on any platform.
I guess the only thing that's a little different today is that we're not stuck at only emails anymore, right? Because now you could do the same thing in Instagram, right? Because that's where, I spend my time, Instagram and LinkedIn. It could be, a quick 10-second video, like you could show a car accident, what happens, and I'm not trying to make copy, because it is what it is. But I think that's what it is. I think today the challenge is how to get your information front and center, because like you said, there's so much out there. And cats' faces on attorneys going to court, seems to have been the craze during COVID. And now it's, TikTokers and everything else. So I guess the challenge is identifying the platform or the way, which that's why people need to hire you, funnels and landing pages and all that good stuff, which when we take a break in a minute or two, when we come back, that's going to be my first question. Like, other than, what's a funnel? But I guess, do you see a trend? Do you see like something that is coming out, popping, something that is going to be the next, oh my God, thing coming down the pipe?
No, and there will be, obviously, but it doesn't mean that we all should just abandon what we're doing and gravitate towards that new platform. Because listen, Facebook is very effective for me still. It was my first platform I learned how to do everything on. I know those algorithms inside out until Zuckerberg changes it and tweaks it, but then I'll figure it out very quickly.
Right.
Facebook has my generation on it.
Mine too.
I like working with clients roughly my age, a little younger, a little older, but my generation's on it. The young 30-year-olds, they're not on Facebook. They're on Instagram. So I have to decide who am I talking to, what platform is relevant to that age group or that demographic. TikTok, you're going even younger. I don't do too much on TikTok, although people keep telling me you got to go on TikTok. You got to go on TikTok. And I will. But you have to remember, it's overwhelming enough trying to get one platform right than trying to deal with, it's not just I'll take my post and who cares, post it on everything. Yeah, you can do that very easily, but don't be upset when you get nothing from TikTok, nothing from YouTube, and all your stuff's on Facebook, because you have to speak differently to each platform. So if you have the time for that, great, but it's a lot to learn. And I don't have all the answers out there. I'm not saying hire me, I'll make it happen on every platform. No, I'll be very honest with you and say, I know email marketing, I know LinkedIn, I know retargeting on Facebook. We're going to use the same formula I've used since 2004 and since Dan Kennedy's used since 1980. And then the other guys from the early 1900s. It's, if you go and read all these books, it's just information being passed along to the next generation. We've been selling for centuries, right?
And it's funny, some of the books that I read and you read when we were in college and we were younger, Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad, Poor Dad, like they're all today, they're still good. Republic of Plato.
It's evergreen. The human psyche has not changed or evolved much.
Nope.
For thousands of years.
So we're going to take a quick break right here. We're going to go into a quick commercial break for 30 seconds or so. Matt's going to go get a cup of coffee. Hopefully it's good. And we'll be right back with a commercial. And then we're going to start with funnels, because we need to know what funnels are.
Here it is.
All right. I didn't want to be on the screen. I wanted you to be the big, here it is. Here it is. All right. So we got my coffee. It's there, and hopefully it tastes just as yummy. So we will see. So again, Jason Weiss, Ask Jason Weiss show. Got Matt Clark here. He's looking, he's saying.
It's awesome. Love it.
All right. It goes down smooth.
I really do.
It might not be as strong.
And I use 4 scoops, by the way, already, before you even told me to do that. That's what I usually do.
Okay. Well, then next time you might want to make it a tiny bit. If it's not strong enough, that's what you do next time.
I know what weak, crappy coffee tastes like, and this is very much in line with what I usually do is an espresso blend with Dunkin' Donuts. I mix 2 scoops of Dunkin', 2 scoops of espresso, because Dunkin' on its own would be way too light.
Correct.
And I don't want the super rich Starbucks dark roast either. So this is really
so then
good.
This is probably good. But let me tell you, when I was in Hawaii, we went to a coffee farm, and that was awesome for me. And I learned the espresso beans, they have less caffeine in them than the normal beans. Believe that.
Really?
Yep. It all has to do with the roasting time and all of that. So the longer you roast, the darker your bean looks, the less caffeine, but the more flavor that'll pop.
So
creating flavor.
So that's actually counterproductive for somebody like me, because now I'm getting into a very dark roast, rich taste, which I'm not too fond of, or even less caffeine.
Correct.
So that's like a double negative for somebody like me.
Correct. So I used to like really get my coffee dark, and my mom would drink it and she'd love it.
See, and now it would be more caffeine.
No, as you're roasting the coffee, it removes a lot of the caffeine, and in order to get it completely decaf, you have to do like a reverse osmosis, and you're removing things from it and gas and all that. Never done it. Don't think it's in my future for that, but I do plan. Look, I got experiments. My kitchen looks like a coffee bean factory, and it smells like a cruise line because
I bet it smells amazing though.
Well, what I've been doing is I'm soaking coffee beans in different flavored alcohol. So I have Bailey's, I have vodka, I have rum, I have whatever. And I'm waiting for the beans to now harden back up because it absorbed all the alcohol.
Right, they're soft now, right?
And I'm also planning on coating them all in chocolate this weekend to try that as well. So having fun. It's really interesting, and I've been loving it. And one of the reasons for this is that I want to put the word out there, right? I could roast coffee, sell coffee, whatever. The margins are small. But if I could do like a specialty, like a chocolate covered bean or a vodka infused bean or vodka, I could sell that, right? But I have all these great ideas and all these great concepts, and I get sales, but not the sales that I want. So I've been speaking to people throughout the course of years and months and days and all of that. And everybody keeps saying there's different ways. And the theme that keeps coming up is a funnel. Now, when I heard about funnel, first thing I thought about was the old black plastic, or it was clear plastic, and you put it right there and you pour your windshield wiper fluid in to fill it up, or you add oil to your generator. Or
that's what you thought of? I thought of college, funneling a beer.
Well,
that's where my mind is, and just goes to show the two minds. You're thinking of, putting gas in your car, and I'm chugging beers over here.
Exactly. But I guess the idea is, what is a funnel? A funnel starts up big, and it creates everything to a pinpoint.
Yep.
And I think that's what, in my opinion, that's what funnel marketing is. You go ahead and you think big, and you get all these people. Oh, I'm looking for a new car. And everybody that's looking for a new car goes into this part of the funnel. And then as you get to the point where you have all of these features that you want, must have Bluetooth, must have backup cam, must have 4 Pirelli or Michelin tires, must be, 4 doors, must be raised, must do well in the water. And then all of a sudden you're at that pinpoint, and all of a sudden have to have that car.
Yeah.
That's what I think of as a funnel.
Well, and you're right, because if you think about a lot of marketing diagrams, if you go and look at a marketing funnel or your Google marketing funnel, and then you click images, you're going to see a lot of people use that diagram. And then you have your top layer, and then the layers get shorter and shorter until out comes the lead, right?
Well, it's like a Ponzi scheme too. It's just reverse, right?
Exactly. Because it's never, because you're not getting anything out of it unless you put something into it.
Exactly.
But, so I'm a big fan of sales funnels. I wish I came up with the term, but of course I did not. And again, this is knowledge passed down from hundreds of years. But Russell Brunson, I got to give him all the credit for the sales funnel explosion that happened back in, I would say, when I moved to London in about 2014. I was a beta ClickFunnels user, so I've been using Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels platform since it was in beta, before I was on the waiting list to get access to it. Okay. So I knew that this thing was going to be big, and Russell Brunson was just a genius, and it still is a genius marketer. You want to hire him to work on your sales funnel, you're paying at least $100,000 to even $1 million. Okay. And yes, he is worth every penny. No, I have not paid him to do that, but I wish I could afford him, but he's so good.
Hang on 1 second. Hang on. Russell Brunson, if you are listening, Matt and I want to come in, and we want an hour of your time because we want to learn from you, and we want to make hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars, and we'll cut you in. All right. That's my offer to you. And to everybody else, my offer is email me at jason at askjasonweiss.com. Tell me where you want it shipped, and if you want whole or ground, and I'll send you free coffee because it's yummy stuff. All right. So Russell Brunson, call us. We're ready for you. All right. So you learned
the least he can do is order some of your coffee.
I know, right? So we're booming here with Russell Brunson. If I drop that name enough times, someone will pick it up somewhere. All right. So we're good.
Yeah. No. So he came out with ClickFunnels, and he created ClickFunnels to help anybody get their head around marketing and create a marketing process that keeps you on track. And it's very simple what he did. And now we apply it to every coaching program, every funnel I build, or every funnel I coach on. It's the same thing. Traffic source, to a landing page with an asset, a sales asset of some sort on the landing page, maybe a video sales letter, to an appointment, and that's it. Okay. And a lot of people overcomplicate it, and you're like, that's it. That's all that really, that's it. A lot of people think you have to go on, post your content all over the internet and on 50 million different social media platforms. It's not that effective. People think they need to do brand building by posting everywhere. You're not Coca-Cola. Okay, let's be honest, right? Coca-Cola needs branding. Pfizer needs branding. Until you're a big, massive billion-dollar conglomerate, I would say forget all that stuff. You're just going to spin your wheels. You're going to waste your time. If you enjoy doing it, do it. But if all you want is a lead or an appointment or a sale, you stick to a sales funnel. Okay? If you want a lead, you give away something, an ebook, a guide. I mean, Jason, you do law. You can write a quick 3-page ebook. You can even get AI to write it for you now. You can have a lead magnet in 1 hour from now. You can use a platform like ClickFunnels or any of the other million that are out there today to create a quick, easy click and drag landing page which says, hey, Matt, I'd love to give you a free copy of my guide or your book. Your book is a lead magnet. Okay. You already have an asset. So I would say, if you were a client of mine, I'd say, Jason, let's use your book as a lead magnet, but I don't want to give my book away for free. Okay. Why don't you give away the PDF version to get that lead? Or maybe you're going to give your book away to the first 10 people and you want their mailing address and their name and blah, blah, blah. You have a solid lead. So what do you do with that lead after? They got your book. Awesome. This is a potential client of yours now, and a good one too, because they took the time to give you their name, email address, and mailing address. Okay. So now they go into your email marketing campaign, which I call the automated prospecting sequence. Okay. So you got the lead. They're now going to get 3 to 5 pieces of content. Any longer and they tune out. 3 to 5 pieces of content where you educate them. You do not sell them. Hey, it's me, Jason. Buy my stuff. Buy my service. Hire me. No, none of that. It's, hey, you bought my book. Thank you so much. In my book, you're going to learn this. And I want to clarify that a little bit better. Pain, agitate, gain, solution. So you do that maybe 3 to 5 times. So whenever anybody downloads a guide from me or goes on my list, I really try to give them value. I try to educate them. I try to actually give them something that they could take away and implement today and see a result right away. Because they're thinking, man, if your free stuff's this good, I can't wait to hire you. I can only imagine how good your paid stuff is. And people just don't do that. They think, well, if I give away my free stuff, no one's going to hire me. No, they're going to hire you, because unless they're going to go into court and represent themselves, or unless they're going to learn 15 to 20 years of marketing, direct response marketing, and all the tech that goes into it, and how to get to the people's inboxes versus going to junk, they're going to need your help. But the best way to prove that you can help somebody is by proving you can actually help somebody. Right? So it's an automated prospecting sequence that takes you from a lead. We nurture you until we convert you to an appointment. Then I get on the phone and I take it from there. So Facebook post offering you a free book or a guide into my email sequence. And then at the end of every single email, hey, if you like what you learned and you want to learn a little bit more, I'm happy to jump on a no obligation discovery call where ask me anything you want, which really is going to be a sales pitch. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. And then at the end of that call, after I've given you a free ebook, 3 to 5 valuable pieces of content, a really good strategy session, like when you and I spoke the other week, last week it was.
Right.
A cheesy sales line, or and take you through this just ridiculous out of date pitch. It was, hey, you should do this, you should do that, and then when you do this, make sure it includes this. Use this free stuff.
You got my mental and creative juices flowing.
Good. And I'll even tell people, don't pay for a platform. Use this. We use system.io. For my own landing pages, I use it. It's free. Jason, I even have that stupid watermark at the bottom to prove I have not paid for it. So when I tell you, just use that free landing page, I'm not using the Rolls Royce version while telling you to use a free version, just to
right.
Business. I'm using everything I tell you to use. So during our discovery call, I tell everybody, this is what you should do. If you want to hire me or go into my coaching program where I take you through a 30-day workshop, I'll have your sales funnel roaring in 30 days if you go through my program. So, but until we get on the call, I want you to feel 100% confident in me. I want you to know that you can really, you're really going to learn stuff because I've already proven that I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. And I prove that before we even get on the call. I prove that in my email marketing sequence. Okay. Right. So that's really, again, it's not rocket science. It's just keeping people on track and saying, nope, stop TikTok, stop YouTube, stop all that crap. Focus. I want you to take all those assets that you have, all that help that you're offering the world, and we're going to put it in your sales funnel. Okay. And then we're going to,
if people around the world want to find you, what's the best way to do that? Where other than, and for some people who are only listening, they don't see the visual at the bottom. Where's the best way to find you? If someone's listening today and they're like, oh my God, I got to get with Matt Clark. What's the best way?
Yeah. So SALESFORCEBOOM.com is our 30-day program. That's where we're coaching consultants, coaches, professional services, anybody in a professional service industry. We're coaching all these people on how to create their own sales funnel. We don't do it for you. We do it with you. I used to do done for you, but I realized once I do it for you and then I hand you the keys, you're sitting there with a jet that you have no idea how to fly.
Exactly.
So I thought, so I did that for a few years. And after then COVID hit and we shut it down. When COVID was kind of long gone and things started to go back to normal, we launched the group coaching program because I thought I don't ever want to be in a position again, or I don't want my clients to be in a position again where I handed them the sales funnel that they had no idea what to do with, or they paid all this money. We used to charge like $20,000 to build these sales funnels out for people, Jason, and they didn't even know how to drive traffic to it. So now we teach everything. You will not need to come back to me after I send you on your way. You will know everything from split testing ads, what platforms to drive traffic to, how to build your landing page, what to put on the landing page. I give you the template, fill in the template. And then more importantly, how to get your first 25 to 50 sales inquiries. Okay. So SalesForceBoom.com, it gives you everything you need to know about the program. There's testimonials. We actually worked with Jameson Wright, who's the co-founder of LogMeIn, multi-billion-dollar application. And he's since used the knowledge to go on to create more billion-dollar apps. Jamie Muskoff, she consults to Nike, the U.S. military, Columbia University, and Microsoft. So we've worked with some big clients, and we've also worked with clients who want to teach a course on how to build barcodes, believe it or not. So, you could go as dry as barcodes, or you could be trying to sell legal services or Ferraris. The same thing is going to apply. The same sales psychology, the same funnel. I do not create a different funnel for lawyers than I do for financial advisors, than I do for somebody trying to sell Lamborghinis. It's the same sales psychology. And I think once people get their head around that, they'll be like, the light bulb will go off and they'll be like, holy crap, I can apply this to anything, to your coffee. You're talking about your sales for coffee. I'm like, dude, lead magnet, give away a freebie, get their details, put them in your email marketing, teach them the process that you go through. That's what your own email marketing, not We got a sale. We got this. We got that. Dude, coffee's, I don't want to say coffee's coffee because it's not. You and I know there's crap out there and there's great coffee. I'm a coffee snob. But to a lot of people, coffee's coffee. Okay. So educate them, teach them the process, do a video of you adding all the alcohol to it. Cause I'll be like, damn, dude, this is freaking cool. And hey guys, get on my waiting list for a free sample of when my new thing comes out.
Yep.
Your
And
list is
I'm still perfecting the formulas. That's why I don't have it there yet. But
it doesn't matter. Get the waiting list going.
Yep. And that's what I plan on doing.
Yeah, while you're perfecting your coffee, video you doing it. Even if you're screwing up, be like, guys, I'm going to crack this. I'm going to crack this. Get on the waiting list because when I do, I'm giving away my first 100 bags for free.
I already have my kids enrolled, so I can get 4 different camera angles this weekend and all this and all that. So I can't believe we've already blown through 40 minutes. This has been incredible. Hopefully the listeners now know all about funnels, and we want to get people funneled into you. And I always save my hardest question for last. So here we go. Are you currently reading any books?
Yeah.
What are you reading? And what would you recommend?
All right. Well, let's see here. I'm reading a few. Let me just turn around here. And here's a good one. These two right here. For anybody really trying to get their head around the sales. Again, read about sales psychology first. It's the reason in my own program, the first week or 2 is dedicated entirely around who's your perfect customer and what's the irresistible offer message. We handle those 2 very important topics before we get into actually building anything out. Okay. So Built to Sell by John Warrillow. Okay. This is a great one. Okay. It really talks a lot about creating a business that can thrive without you. Okay. And again, once you get a sales funnel up and running, it's automated. It just runs. Okay. This is really good for passive income. And again, you're doing your coffee business. How do you build it so you can hand the keys over to somebody else to run it? Okay. Sales funnels have a lot to do with that too. And then going way back, the Dan Sullivan question. Okay. Ask it and transform anyone's future. And this is really good for sales or any professional. It'd be good for your legal services. Okay. Because this is asking questions that really hit to the core of the pain point. So when you're trying to think of how do I get people to, pay attention to me as a lawyer, what questions do I need to be asking? What pain points do I need to be striking to really get them to be like, dude, I want to work with you yesterday. Okay.
Yep.
So these are 2 really good books, Built to Sell and the Dan Sullivan question.
You could always read Shit They Never Taught You in Law School by Jason Weiss.
I know, and I wanted to say that.
It wasn't a plug for my book, I promise. And I'm reading Start With Why.
Nice.
In Seneca, and I'm about 99 pages into it, and I read the first 20 pages, and I'm like, oh my God, this book was written for me. So Start With Why. Excellent.
By who?
Simon Sinek, Sinek.
Okay.
Very good book. I read the first 20 pages. I'm like, oh my God, like I could have written this book.
You know what? One more. How much time do we have?
Like 30 seconds. So while he's looking for his last book, I want to thank Matt Clark for being here. You could find him at SALESFORCEBOOM.com. Look him up. Follow him on LinkedIn. He's got great content out there. He also talks politics on there, but I asked him not to today. It was respect to all the viewers. SalesForceBoom.com. I'm Jason Weiss. Feel free to ask me questions. Ask me about coffee. Ask me about law. Ask me about whatever you want. And hopefully soon you're going to be asking me about the programs that I'm doing with Matt, and I'm getting sales funnels and I'm getting better leads. So thank you, Matt. To all of you, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Matt, stay backstage. Don't go anywhere. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Cece, and the newstreamingnetwork.com and boldmedia.com. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.